watching your favorite personal finance show, The Money Show. And as we step into the spirit of Diwali, the festival of light, wealth, and new beginnings, we are dedicating this entire week to exploring prosperity in its truest sense because Lakshmi isn't just about money, it's about abundance in every aspect of your life. So, through this special series, Manifesting Money will take you on a 360-degree journey that goes beyond markets and investments, from understanding the spiritual connection with wealth to building the right money mindset, from decoding investor behavior to consistency to exploring how our traditions and mythology shapes our financial thinking. This week is all about learning how to invite prosperity, both material and meaningful, into our lives. So all you have to do is just stay with us as we discover how to truly manifest money the Diwali way. But let's begin today's very special episode, and today we explore a prosperity mindset and strategy, and the guest with whom we are doing it is Kailash Kulkarni of HSBC AMC. Kailash, hi, welcome to this very special edition, and wish you a great Diwali, a happy Diwali, along with a very prosperous new year. My first question to you is, as India steps into a new Samvat year, investors are not just looking for returns, they are seeking stability, purpose and growth. Okay, so it's also time to reflect on our financial journeys. What should investors do to ensure their portfolios shine as bright as the festive lights?
So firstly, wishing all viewers a Shubha Deepavali from us. Well, this is a very important time. I think, like for most of the Western world, New Year is a place when they start making resolutions. For us, this is our New Year, the Hindu New Year. So obviously, when we step into something new, we need to be very clear in terms of what we need to do, what we need to achieve. So first and foremost, a lot of us know that during Diwali, we do spring cleaning of our house. So we clean our house, we get rid of some of the unwanted stuff, we keep it spick and span. We promise ourselves that we are going to do better next year from what we learned from the last year. Similarly, we need to look at our portfolios in the exact same manner that I just spoke about. So while we should do a refresh in terms of why have we invested this money, is this where we have done the investment, is it really helping us or hurting us in our journey towards prosperity? I think this is a good time for stock taking, and basis that you actually set out a path. Now, one of the things that can get misconstrued when I say that you need to review your portfolio, review does not mean change. It is just to do a hygiene check that are we in the right frame of space where we have invested, and should we continue those investment, or is something going uh, not as per the plan because geopolitics happen, economy changes, etc., etc. So this is a good time of the year where we are doing so many good things. This is also one important thing to do. Check your portfolio, check whether nominations are updated, check if you have kept everything in order. Have you prepared a full list of all investments so that your near and dear ones in future know what is happening? I think that is the great start, I would say, for beginning a new Samvat.
All right, fantastic. But also, Kailash, how do you see investor sentiments and flows shaping up this festive season, especially with SIP numbers making a new record high of going beyond 29,000 crores? How do you see this momentum going?
So, I really salute the Indian retail investor. And why I'm saying I salute the Indian retail investor is because the level of maturity that the Indian retail investor has been showing in a very tough year. Let's be honest to ourselves, this year has been mainly flat to a little negative, somewhat to somewhat, for most of the people who have invested. Despite that, we are seeing the retail investor continue to believe in the India growth story, continue to say that, okay, in this crazy geopolitical world where things are changing minute by minute, forget hour by hour, they believe very strongly that India is going to remain one of the fastest growing economies in the developed, or rather the bigger economies in the world. I think that leads them to say that, okay, yes, we believe volatility will continue, and hence SIP is a great route to come in. But Kavita, what really encourages me, and I want to give a little different data point to this, And really, I don't think we are talking too much of it. If you look at FII selling, which is talked about a lot, but if you look at promoter and PE exits, we look at the money raised through the IPO market in the first 9 months of the year, and another similar amount expected in the last 3 months. All put together, we are roughly about 5 lakh crores, which has actually gone in, either gone out of the market or gone into these new IPOs. Now, some of that money would have come from existing share sale or existing investment sale. So if we take 3 lakh crores, I'm just taking a ballpark figure, uh, but if you take 3 lakh crores as money having gone out of the system, and then you look at the market, actually our markets have done very well. They are flat to a little negative. In fact, sectors like financial services and banking have actually given significantly positive returns in this kind of a market. So I think this only goes to show how the retail investors have changed their mindset. And when I mean retail, obviously it's the HNI and the other individual investors, I should say, have changed their mindset towards participating in the growth story of India. So that really encourages me. And yes, SIP numbers are just a testimony to their belief that this is the country, Bharat is our country, and this is a country which is going to grow over the next 5 to 10 years, much more than any other country in the world.
Absolutely, true words. But then, Kailash, also this week we've been exploring the many shades of prosperity. And this is from mindset to behavior to strategy. We decode the discipline behind true wealth creation. Now, how to manifest money, not through luck, but through planning, patience, and purpose. If you could just elaborate more on this.
Sure. When we look at the traditional forms of investment in India, I would put them as three. One is your fixed income instruments, either in bank or small savings or PPF. That's one part of the story. The second is, of course, gold. We all love gold as India, and this is the season. Diwali is prosperity, Lakshmi, gold. It all talks of that. And the third is real estate. And if you look at the changing behavior, especially post COVID, we are seeing two big changes. While gold continues to be the love for Indians, and I don't see that going away anytime soon, and especially given the last 2 years returns of gold, I think there are enough memes and various other interesting tidbits going around about how the housewives in India are now richer than some of the portfolio specialists given the quantum of gold they have. But clearly we can see a significant change in terms of buying behavior when it comes to real estate, and also moving part of that money from the traditional fixed income instruments, moving them into financial instruments. And as that change happens, and we have seen that over the last 5 years or so, more than 10% appreciation in terms of the number of the money moving from traditional pockets to financial instruments. I think that shows that money is going to be put to productive use. And that is how I think India is also going to grow with this change of behavior. So while geopolitics will play a large part in the volatility, and hence the move to gold, and hence we believe gold will continue to do well for some time to come, I think it's very important to know the underlying fact that as uh, families have now multi-income, because earlier only one parent used to work and the children were in school or colleges. Today, 10 years later, there are nearly three incomes per household. The costs don't go up so much. It's the disposable income which goes up, and the disposable income can only go into two things. One, either into spending, and that Indians are now started to change their mindset and starting to spend. And we have seen some record numbers in terms, once the GST has been reduced, in terms of buying of goods across various categories. And second, they would invest their money. So I think all in all, it's a really, really good time. And this Diwali hopefully will be a very, very happy Diwali and a prosperous Diwali for times to come for all of us.
All right, Kailash, if you're talking about Diwali, so, how can we miss the topic of Diwali gifting? According to you, how good a gift is a mutual fund? How can you gift mutual funds to make it more, like a financial gift and a personal touch also to it?
So when we talk of gifting, of course, rules have changed. Now, you can't do third party gifting. So it has to be within the family. You gift the younger children, or anybody within your immediate family, you can do the gifting. But I think more important is that can we really teach them when they are young as to why it is important to start investing or start saving, start an SIP in their name? I think that is possibly the best gift that you can give. Because if you give something, finally it's going to get either consumed or utilized in a short span of time, forgotten. Whereas if you actually give them an SIP in within your family to the younger members of your family, you instill in them a sense of discipline. You explain to them how SIP works. When the markets are exuberant, you get less number of units. When the markets have actually fallen, you get more number of units. And this helps them in their journey. So when they in turn 21 or 25 or 30, and that's when they really require a big chunk of money because they're setting up house or for further graduation, etc. I think that is when they start seeing the money that their parents or their grandparents have left behind for them really help them in a significant manner. So just even if you don't actually gift, but if you start talking about this, that itself is a big gift. According to me, the more knowledge we impart to the younger generation, that's the best gift that you can give them. So yes, we can. There are ways to go about investing in a minor's name with you as the guardian. And after they turn 18, they have to move it into their own name. So there are those procedures which are there. But it's one of the best ideas, I think, which we can do.
Perfect. Let's move on. And Kailash, I just want to focus on the India growth story now. India itself is emerging as a symbol of abundance and opportunity. Are we in a new golden phase for India's market and economy? How are you looking at it? What sectors or themes do you believe will drive the long-term prosperity over here?
So one cannot predict markets at all because markets are not just purely dependent on the India growth story. Absolutely. It depends on a lot of other factors. And we are seeing that, right? Nothing has been amiss in the India growth story from January or February of this calendar year. But we have seen the markets not do too well for India. But economically, are we in the golden phase? I think we are really in the, or close to the golden phase, I would say. I think I am a very bullish person when it comes to seeing what is happening in India. If we look at the grassroots, and let's not look at the top line numbers because I think those everybody understands. If we look at the grassroots and the quantum of change that we are seeing in the grassroots, in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 cities, the amount of change that we are seeing in terms of adoption of technology, wanting to do better, not just wanting jobs. I think today people are looking at livelihoods of business, setting up businesses, etc. This whole financialization story wherein you pay even a coconut vendor through a QR code. And hence then he gets a credit score because now the money is going into his bank account. He can actually set up a second coconut stall and get his cousin brother or brother from the village to really man that stall, and the family income actually grows. So I am talking of absolutely at that grassroots level. In fact, today it's a joke in India that if you try to pay in cash, the shopkeeper actually tells you, "Mere paas change nahi hai, I don't have change, kindly pay me through a UPI app." So I think this is the fundamental change that we are seeing. And if we look at the broad sectors that we as a house are very bullish on, one clearly manufacturing, it's been driven a lot by the government TLI incentives. And within manufacturing, there are multiple sectors under that which are benefiting out of this. Infrastructure clearly led by the government spending. Capex may have, private capex may have come off a little bit because of geopolitics, but we are very confident this will grow again. The third big sector that we are very bullish on is consumer space. And we have seen the record numbers of in terms of what buying behavior has been, especially in the consumer non-discretionary space, where people are willing to spend that money to upgrade their lifestyle or, just change the machine that they had, which they were used to have a better quality or upgraded version of whatever you have. And the fourth and last one is financialization. And I think let's understand when we earlier used to talk of BFSI, we used to essentially talk of banks and NBFCs. Today, when we talk of BFSI, the second part of it, which is the fee-based, which is stock exchanges, depositories, life insurance companies, asset management companies, wealth management companies, distribution companies, fintech platforms. I think this segment is actually growing far more than the traditional bank and NBFC segment in terms of growth rates. So, fund positioning is important. Our funds are positioned to capture both these segments in a significant manner. So I think these are the four broad themes, and under each of these themes are multiple sectors. And unlike in the past, Kavita, just to say that, say 2005, 2008, when we had a really good run in the markets, we used to run only on one engine, which is infrastructure. Today, we are running on multiple engines. So even if one engine slows down a little bit, the economy is going to grow much faster. So I think that is what gives me that confidence that with innovation and other things, that India growth story is a long-term story. And yes, like you said, we are entering the golden years of our economic growth cycle.
Absolutely. And with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for being on the show. That's the right way to build wealth. And Diwali mantras for our viewers, you gave Kailash. Thank you so much. And once again, wish you a very happy Diwali. Thank you so much.
Shubh Deepavali to everybody.
All right, it's time to slip into a short break. But then post that, let's get your portfolio queries answered by Achin Goel.